I'm done. I'm over it. I don't.
Hey guys, and welcome to Lord Blackbird 91. We're just watching 90 Day Fiance dealing with Kim, and she says she will marry their son, but she will not marry their in-laws. I want to tell you first and foremost, straight away, that is never going to happen. Once you marry the son, you marry the in-laws. And unless that son does a specific something, there's no way you're going to be able to have harmony and peace. I'm going to let you know what that is in a few minutes as well, this video. So stick with us, and I'll tell you how to solve this issue. If those of you who are new to this channel, then you're doing me a massive favor. You're going to like the video, you're going to share it, and then you're going to subscribe to the channel. And then you're going to leave a comment underneath because the video was so amazing and so great, okay? And help us as well if you haven't done so already. Let us know, subscribe to the channel so we can get to 100K by the end of the year. We're setting ourselves a target. You know what? Because when I don't have targets, I feel like I'm lacking. So help us get to 100K by the end of the year, and let's see what miracles we can produce. For those of you who are returnees, you wouldn't even know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated. Yes, let's get into the video. Talking about Kim and TJ, their relationship. She has moved from UK to India into a whole new family. I want to say this first and foremost. When you move from your area to another family, you are moving not only countries, but you're moving into different culture, traditions, and customs. And when you move into that family, you can't dictate necessarily what your customs, traditions, and cultures are onto the family you're coming into. It doesn't work like that. Most cultures, such as Asian or the African culture, are very strong identities. Even if you come to European or even American, if you go to someone else's culture, there's a very strong identity. And when there's a strong identity, it means that one or two things: either they surrender or you surrender. And then more than likely, when you're going into somebody's thing, you are going to surrender. And you better learn how to assimilate. Now, Kim wants to marry the son, but wants to divorce the parents. I'm sorry, it doesn't happen. But there is a way that we're able to hold what we call boundaries. Because when in-laws get involved in a relationship, in a marriage, they are a part of the family and part of your marriage as much as you guys are, because they uphold structure in order to keep you guys together and functioning. There are going to be times and days where you guys are arguing and having frustration, and it's going to be the in-laws that are going to speak wisdom, hopefully, into you two getting back in the ring and slugging it out once more again to keep each other's affections, hopefully. Now, this family here has a little bit of toxicity and dysfunction, but it's also in alignment with their culture. They want things a certain way. And she has come in like a wrecking ball and has upturned certain things. But I've seen some behaviors from the family too, which has caused isolation and caused her to feel like she's not a part of the team. And I totally get that too. That's a very painful thing to go through. And when you feel like an alien in the family, which you're moving into, it really does create this loneliness and isolation and makes you feel like, you know what? No one's covering me, no one's defending me. I'm all alone, a million miles away. Anyway, so how does this thing get solved? Because they can't stay here forever. We've seen the arguments between Kim and TJ and how it starts oftentimes with the family and infects their own relationship. You are not free from your family. The way the brother has also spoken to Kim and as at one point had to be checked by the brother. On this episode again, the same thing happened. Right? The brother was like, okay, I don't mind shaking her hand, but only if, and she's like, I'm not shaking his hand because then it would mean that I agree to his behavior, da, 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 da. And I was like, you're doing too much as well, sis, Kim. But here's the reality. A man and his family, you can't do nothing about it unless you want to be an emotionally abusive person where you want to separate him from his family. There's nothing you can do about it. If you decide you want to marry into his family, the only way, the one and the only way to uphold and change things happening is how he allows them into his particular household. The man is, in this case, the leader, and he is the door to the relationship. If he allows a family some foothold into the relationship by having dictator or be able to say some certain things, then they will have the power to do and say certain things. For instance, my home, my parents can't just come and drop by without calling me and asking me, because I'm the king of my particular castle and I don't drop into a house anyhow, anyway, or at least I did, but you wouldn't allow me to do that if I really wanted to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you would teach me manners. And the reason why is because there's a healthy respect of boundaries when it comes to what position I'm playing and what access you have to me. It is up to Kim to speak to TJ to get him to understand he must regulate his family, which he started doing, to keep them at a particular distance and to be at a certain at a certain barrier when it comes to their relationship. They can say their piece, they can have what everyone say, but they don't need to say it to me. They don't need to be injecting themselves into your life. They need to know that, listen, we want to be a part of this family, but not at the cost of our mental health, not at the cost of our livelihoods, right? So she has only one option. Because if she decides she wants to flare up to the family, she's going to lose, because that's his family. That's his people then. What she needs to do is get TJ to understand that he is the buck stop, and that TJ is the difference and the not bread, but the difference and the person who can make this thing go in alignment or this thing go wrong. TJ needs to be assertive, let the family know, this is my wife. We're going to be together. I hear your perspectives and concerns, but what I don't want you doing is overstepping the mark. Here's a boundary line. That's the only way it's going to work. But you can't marry Kim as well, be naive and think, I'm going to marry into this family who are from India and think to himself, I'm going to change how they're going to operate. It don't work like that. If you marry into that family, you better know the customs and the cultures and the traditions that they use. Because, baby, that's what's going to uphold that family and his attitudes and values. And that ain't going to change anytime soon just because you're in a family. If anything, you'll go first before the traditions do. So that's what we need Kim to do. Kim, focus on speaking to your boy TJ to get him to create the barrier between yourself and the family. He's done a little bit of it, but he needs to do more. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. Remember, leave it to your man to sort it out if it's his family, because he needs to speak and he needs to let them know, this is my woman. Don't play with me. Don't play it. Don't play it. Don't play with it.